So those were spare bodies, Doc?
Indeed. Sometimes backups are built for custom-made frames like Mistral and the others. They can be used for spare parts in case of damage, or if the original body is completely destroyed. The brain can be transplanted over for a quick recovery.
But these are all AI controlled.
Yes, most likely a standard UG AI. It may look like Mistral, but it would behave more like a UG. The same attack patterns, perhaps, but the AI will not perform up to the organic original in many respects. Such things as speed, agility, accuracy, how it responds to damage. These differences are usually quite obvious once the AI engages in combat.
So I've got nothing to worry about.
Well, bear in mind that the spares retain all the original body's abilities. I would still exercise caution if I were you.
If they already went through all this trouble, why not just mass-produce Mistral's body?
Cost. Yes, I would imagine money to be the biggest obstacle. Mass production would certainly lower costs, but likely not enough to be competitive with general-use cyborgs. Plus, any user would need extensive training to make use of all those arms, you know?
Raiden, keep after Sundown. Whatever he's planning, we will have bad news if we let him go.
I know. 3 hours. What could he be up to?
I don't know, but you better track him down. Whatever it is, it can't be anything good.
I'll find him.
Sundowner. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, this guy's an animal. There's no reasoning with him.
And you're going after him?
That's the plan. This'll be better anyway. I didn't want to fight in that server room.
Well, watch out. It might be a trap. You want to save just in case? Save complete. Be careful, Raiden.
Have you taken the building yet, Raiden?
Negative. Aren't you monitoring me?
Not while piloting an aircraft. I have to take my eyes off of you sometimes.
You don't have it on autopilot?
Well, functions such as attitude control are largely automatic on this craft, but I am wary of leaving everything to the computer. I feel safer handling speed and altitude changes myself.
Huh. Well, suit yourself. Anyway, I found the brains, but Sundowner got away. I'm pursuing him right now.
Roger that. I'm about to enter Denver airspace. You'd best take care of that hammerhead on the roof if you expect me to get anywhere close.
Working on it. Just give me some time.
Raiden, Sundowner fled from you?
Not exactly, no. My guess is he wanted to make sure we didn't damage the server room. Those brains are pretty valuable merchandise. Cheap bastard.
That is plausible. He takes a very businesslike approach to his work at times. What is his current location?
Can't say. I'll have to go and find out.
I will travel in your direction, but it may take time. This area is full of hostiles.
Be careful, Raiden. You do not have so much experience against dual-sword fighters, yes? Both blades are about the same length. It does not look like the European main gauche style. He may have experience with Chinese sword fighting. I cannot say what might be used against you.
Well, this ought to be interesting at least.
Right. Sundowner's in on something going down in the next 3 hours. We need to find out what that is.
Don't worry, he's a cyborg. He won't die right away. I'll spare a piece or two of him to interrogate.
Raiden? Are you... Is everything okay?
Oh yeah. Now there's nowhere for him to run. I'm gonna rip him to pieces.
Raiden...
What's wrong? You gonna save my data or what?
Oh, right. Sure.
Actually, never mind. No way I'm gonna lose.
All right.
Ah, 2 swords and several shields, eh? These winds of destruction are certainly unique. Compared to Mistral and Monsoon, though, he seems to employ a much more straightforward approach.
Hopefully. He could still be hiding something. I'll just have to see for myself.
He can use those swords like a giant Caesars.
What the hell is he thinking? What kind of tactical purpose could that possibly serve?
Perhaps it is just what he's comfortable with. He is likely self-taught, like you. Sometimes the unusual approach works best. This way you can fight unpredictable, yes?
True. And it doesn't seem like I can parry it either. If I get caught in the middle after even one of the swords gets me, I'm screwed.
Hit and run, Raiden. Hit and run as much as you can.
Swords that double as scissors. Interesting, but not especially applicable in most situations. I doubt you would see much demand for such a weapon in the open market.
No. Gimmicky shit like that has no place in a real fight. Watch, and I'll prove it.
You have engaged Sundowner?
Yeah, and I think I got him covered. Once I finish here, I'll help the crew doc hired get the brains transported out. You better get ready too.
Get ready? What am I to prepare for?
Come on, Wolf. Use that staggering intellect of yours.
Raiden, are you?
I'm fine. I'm a cyborg, remember? It'll take a bigger fall than that to phase me. Have you reached her yet?
No. Most likely she is busy, duh? Nose deep in some book, not paying attention.
Yep, sounds about right.
We will find her. I'm sure she will be on the campus somewhere. I already sent advance word to her office, saying we have a big action hero with urgent business.
That'll get her attention. Think we can pull this off without her? If we have to?
No, not on short notice. She's the only one with authority who I can imagine would agree to this.
All right. Fingers crossed, I guess. I didn't realize she was that high up, though.
She was lead developer on this craft, all the way from concept stage. She could not make it alone, of course, but she is the one who put all the parts together, so to speak.
Sounds like she's picked up some leadership skills. Glad to hear it.
Project surely has separate management staff watching over it, yes, but they are not leaders. She negotiates, settles arguments between specialists working for her. Very important. Also, she has vision. She can share that vision with other people, make them see it too. That is what makes projects successful.
I bet. You can't get serious about something unless the whole team believes.
Duh. Certainly she has natural leadership ability. A gifted child in so many ways. Though the Patriots may have something to do with that.
I'd say so. What do you think? Should we see if she wants to come on board?
What? No, no! Raiden, one leader is enough for this company.
You alright, buddy? That was one hell of a drop.
Yeah, I'm good. This body's even tougher than I realized. That was some in-flight entertainment.
Yeah, no shit. Sliders or hammerheads are one thing, but the MQ-320's a full-fledged warplane. Only the USAF's supposed to have them.
Someone should tell World Marshal that.
UAV tech's grown a lot, but not that much. Fully equipped battle planes would cost a fortune. Everything in them is cutting-edge tech. The military might let a PMC operate one, but I can't think of many who could bankroll one for themselves.
Yeah, can't see the US being keen on sharing its toys. Especially with World Marshal.
The military might have loaned it out, but only for overseas ops in major hotspots. They wouldn't outsource the defense of American airspace. That's their job. Imagine the headlines. Any warplane within US airspace, manned or not, it's military or nothing. That's part of the reason private UAV tech hasn't advanced as much as it could have.
If I had to guess, they were probably trainers from Peterson Air Force Base. And if World Marshal's got access to equipment like that...
Yeah. Either the Army gave them permission, or they somehow scrambled without using military channels. Either way, they're in deeper with the military than we thought.
I know I just leveled World Marshal HQ, but I don't understand why the military would get involved. I'm not an enemy combatant or anything. I can see why the police would want me, but the Air Force?
Well, you did kind of kill a bunch of police officers. Now, I know they were more World Marshal security guards than anything else, but they still had badges. And when the police can't catch you, that's when they call in the guard.
This is blowing up pretty quickly.
Pretty much full-on warfare, yeah. Asymmetric warfare, that is.
Well, we better wrap this up quick then. Any more warplanes and I could be in trouble.
I doubt Peterson's got any more MQs ready to go. You'd have seen them by now. My hunch is, someone at World Marshal probably panicked and had it dispatched after Sundowner died. There won't be another sortie. Once you're out of Denver, things won't seem so urgent for them anymore. The military can't just go around willy-nilly shooting down civilian helicopters.
Maybe. But if we're dealing with guys who can commandeer U.S. military planes without Army approval...
Well, then we'd really be screwed. But I doubt it's that easy for them.
So, you want to fill me in on your plans for later?
My plans for later? Are you making dinner reservations?
Well, there is this new sushi joint I've been meaning to check out. But, oh, right. I guess you're going to be kind of busy over in Pakistan, aren't you? You certainly seem in a good mood, at least.
Can't be a proper action hero without a joke or two.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't quit your day job. Look, we've all got our coping mechanisms, I guess.
Ask any soldier. A little levity can work wonders when you're facing death. Doesn't really matter if it's funny or not. If it helps you and your buddies relax, then it helps.
Yeah, makes sense. Sorry, I didn't mean anything by it.
Forget about it.
Okay, I got a joke for you then. 3 tomatoes are walking down the street, and they go...
I've heard this one, Courtney. And thanks for the thought, but I'll be fine.
All right. Well, anyway. So you're headed for Solus first?
Yeah, Solus Space and Aeronautics. It's a private space outfit. Ever since NASA opened up spaceflight to commercial companies, it's become a pretty crowded market.
And that's where Sonny works?
You got it. Fortunately, it's not too far from here. They got their start doing Air Force Space Command work for the Peterson Air Force Base nearby. 2 years ago, though, they built their own spaceport and moved to their current location.
Glad to hear they're close. Boris is getting in contact now. You just focus on getting out of Denver.
Copy that.
Raiden, are you all right?
Yeah. Gotta hand it to you, Doc. This is one hell of a body. Fell that far and didn't even dent the thing.
Ah, wunderbar, wunderbar. You're going to need it where you're going.
I bet. The cops are probably going nuts trying to figure out where I, landed.
I should say so. And you'd be wise to steer clear of them. You're a rather large bounty to score.
Maybe. But I won't make it easy. That said, this would probably be a lot easier if I wasn't also on the run.
We are beggars, not choosers, Raiden.
Guess so. What's your status?
The helicopter is safe, but I have SAMs targeting me from below. I won't be able to get near you.
How about up there?
All is clear. For now.
Just those two then. Good. Let's hope it stays that way. You just worry about getting out of Denver, okay?
And what will you do?
Get out of here and to the launch site.
Ah, the young ladies' company, yeah? How fortunate they are in Colorado, too.
Yeah. Shouldn't take more than 2 hours with a set of wheels. Guess I'll just have to borrow some. A lot of cars got abandoned when the evac order came down.
But won't the roads be blocked? If you are struck by one of those missiles, or...
I know. Let me just worry about putting some distance between me and World Marshal. What's left of it. I can handle this. You just get those brains out of here.
Yes. Yes. All right, then.
Are you injured, Raiden?
Actually, no. This body's something else. Too bad I can't get back to the chopper, though.
Yes, it is too dangerous for us to approach you. Your pursuers are equipped with anti-air missiles.
Yeah. Time to get the hell out of Denver. I'll commandeer a car or something.
You will go to the Solus launch facility, and then to Pakistan.
That's the plan. Shouldn't be too hard, assuming I can shake these cops. Even World Marshal can't sick an entire battalion on me. Not in time, anyway.
Please confirm your motives. Why do you wish to save the president?
It's not like I'm his #1 fan. But if I don't, it'll reignite the war on terror all over again. And that means more blood money to fatten their bottom line. You heard what Sundowner said. Maybe the brains are safe. But if I don't do something...
Raiden, allow me to join you.
You sure you want that? This could get rough.
Yes, I understand it will be a difficult mission. All the more reason for me to assist you.
Well, I could use the help.
I will find a way to exit the helicopter. Proceed out of the city. I will contact you when I am on the ground.
Copy that.
Here's a tough one, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy this. He's going to regret bringing Jack back.
Yes, well, I hope so. Do not underestimate his attack speed. You must watch his moves. Parry them. Even if he blocks you, keep pushing. Break his guard and you will have chance to attack.
Right. You gonna be okay?
I'm fine, Kev. Eye wide open. Yeah, it's true. I know the joy of killing. I don't deny it anymore. I don't fear it anymore.
All right. Let's just finish this.
Be careful, Raiden. I know you're stronger now, but remember who you're dealing with here.
How about a little less talk and more saving, okay, Courtney?
Oh, yeah. But I thought...
Change my mind. Out.
Be careful, Raiden. I know you're...
How about a little...
Oh. Save complete.
Riding out.
With a master of his level, projectile attacks are useless. Technology will not be the deciding factor here. This battle will be won by sheer force of will. Whoever breaks first, dies first.
Then I can't lose.
Raiden, a World Marshal helicopter crashed in this vicinity earlier. It was en route to deliver a cache of cyborg repair materials. Should you locate any conspicuous crates, cut them open. See what is inside.
You sure you want to stay on my side, Wolf? Sam's gonna die here, you know.
I still owe you a debt.
Think you can win without a sword?
His fighting style uses a good amount of blunt strikes and throws, too. But sooner or later, that won't be enough to stop me.
In any case, you cannot parry a throw. Do not let him grab you.
Who do you think you're talking to? Relax, Boris.
Sam, he's actually enjoying this? What are you gonna do, Raiden?
Kick his ass, what else?
Yeah, well, don't let your guard down just because his blade's not drawn. His fighting style's got a lot of throws and punches.
Just watch, Kev. Just watch.
Okay.
Be careful, Raiden. I know you're stronger now, but remember who you're dealing with here.
How about...
Oh. But...
Change...
With a master of his level, projectile attacks are useless. Technology...
Then I...
Raiden, a World Marshal helicopter. It was... Should you...
You sure... But it's too little, too late.
It has quite a reach, Raiden, and an explosive trigger for faster speed. I am sure you remember.
Doesn't matter anymore. I got him pegged.
All right, just be careful, yes? Especially when he is at a distance.
It's a pretty weird hilt Sam had on his blade.
It had some kind of explosive charge built in. Helped him unsheath quicker. A cheap trick if you ask me.
Maybe it was, but he did cut your arm off. Besides, if you get down to it, just being a cyborg's not exactly fighting fair, is it?
Maybe not. But I'm not saying any and all science isn't fair.
It's weird how the blade pointed downward, too. I thought samurai swords always pointed up.
It could be to help him unsheath it faster. Maybe it's part of the original Uradachi style, or something Rodriguez invented over in Brazil.
An underhanded blade for an underhanded fighting style, huh? I like it.
Be careful, Raiden. I know...
How about...
Oh. But...
Change...
With a master of his level, projectile attack...
This is Boris. You have landed in Pakistan?
Yep, amazing. That Sunny is really something.
She is genius. I've not seen her for quite some time. She is well?
Pretty good. A lot, sunnier than she used to be, for sure. Like day and night from when I first met her.
That was a difficult time, yes? But I'm glad she's better now.
It's a good thing I got to her when I did. I used to not like thinking about all the stuff that was going on then. But now I kinda miss those days.
Sadness is not like the ocean. Someday you can drink it all up. It's a Russian saying. People, they always try to beautify the past as a way to cope, yes? But I know it was not easy for you. I'm sorry for all the trouble.
Nah, I wouldn't have gotten her out without your help. Pretty wild to think that was my first job with you, huh?
Duh. Certainly I was not expecting to work with you for so long.
I remember how surprised I was hearing about you starting Maverick.
Well, I could not just abandon the PLA. Really, I think I was more surprised you decided to join us.
Yeah? Well, you caught me at the right time. I didn't exactly know what to do with myself. You know, Boris, I think Sundowner was right in a way. Killing the Patriots wasn't enough to end war. It didn't create this big, happy utopia. But you know what? Seeing Sonny doing so well makes me damn happy the Patriots are gone.
Yes, I can imagine. You saved many lives.
But now here we are, all over again, huh?
Indeed. My apologies for putting you through all this.
I knew what I was in for. Riding out.
Right. Our enemy has multiple options for striking the president in Pakistan. At the base after landing, while in transit within the country, during the meeting. But if Sundowner's right, they're gonna strike within 3 hours after you killed him.
Which means they're either gonna attack Air Force One, or they'll wait until he lands.
I kinda doubt there are any Pakistanis on board Air Force One, though. It's not like in the movies. They never let foreign press on the flight. They could try to shoot it down from afar, I guess. But anything the Pakistan Air Force could deploy would show up on US radar instantly.
Which means their best bet at kickstarting another war on terror would be post-landing.
They're probably set up for the assassination over at the base. You better get moving.
So there's one thing I still don't get. If World Marshal's making it look like Desperado hacked their cyborgs, wouldn't that damage their reputation? Maybe they can hide the fact that they're involved in terrorism that way, but wouldn't they still be liable for the fact that they, got hacked?
They probably would, yeah. But the only thing they're looking for here is a profit. Maybe they need to demonstrate neglect if they're gonna make any money off of this.
How so?
Well, Kevin dug up some intel. Half of the contractors stationed here didn't get their contracts renewed at the end of March. The US government rewrote their contract with Marshall earlier. Had to cut military spending after all, with the recession going on.
And so they'll say the contractors were spread too thin to prevent the hacking.
Exactly. And that'll only encourage the Army to boost their Marshall headcount. I can't say if the military's directly involved in this assassination attempt or not, but...
Well, what happened to the contractors they laid off?
Who knows? Hopefully they found work. But work like that isn't exactly easy to come by. Ever since the war economy died down, after the Patriots, life's been pretty much hand-to-mouth for a lot of contractors.
Huh. And you put it that way, I can almost understand what Sundowner was saying.
Yeah, but starting a war just to boost your profits? That's crazy, Courtney. If there's no work for contractors out there, it's time to find another industry to work in. Not that I have any right to say that, but...
Oh, come on, Raiden. Maybe you like to fight, sure, but you're not that... twisted.
Yeah, well, in any case, I better get to work. Riding out.
In Pakistan already, and so quickly. Ah, science never ceases to amaze me.
When it's for peaceful purposes, you mean?
Well, yes, of course. Of course. I must say, though, the engineer behind that RLV craft looked rather young to me.
Yeah, a gifted kid, you might say.
I would love a chance to meet her sometime.
Why? What would you say to her?
Oh, I don't know. It's always just such a stimulating experience. Speaking with scientists from fields other than mine, that is. It often leads to all sorts of new insights, new ideas to work with. And speaking of that, I've yet to meet Dr. Emmerich, too.
I doubt you two would get along, actually.
Oh, you think so?
Anyway, how are the brains doing?
Oh, just fine. Safe and sound in Mexico. Now I just have to get them loaded and en route to Germany. Of course, the real challenge will come after that, I suppose.
Yeah. We'll get there when we get there.
Indeed. Indeed. Do be careful in the meantime.
Hey, Wolf. What did you and Sam talk about before we fought?
Nothing of note. He was not one to reveal himself to others.
All right. You don't have to tell me.
Raiden, I do not feel good about this. Do not allow yourself to be caught off guard.
Duly noted.
How was the ride?
Hey, Sonny. Fine, thanks. Though I wouldn't call it the smoothest ride ever. You sure that thing's really airworthy?
Well, what do you expect? You're traveling at a few dozen times the speed of sound. I mean, she operates well within all the projected margins of safety, so yes. We'll have to work on the turbulence levels a bit before we can take tourists on it. But come on, you really can't complain.
So, it's meant mainly for cargo at the moment?
Mm-hmm. We got a contract with COTS, NASA's Commercial Orbital Transportation Services. Mostly handling space deliveries, that kind of thing. We also joined the C3PO, the Commercial Crew and Cargo Program Office's Passenger Transport Program.
So soon we'll have private spacecraft bringing crew to the International Space Station. Wild times we're living in.
Well, the space race has been over for decades now. It's no longer something countries engage in for vanity's sake. Still, lots of people are starting to see the industrial value of zero-gravity experiments. Plus, the costs are getting lower and lower with each passing year, to the point where we'll have a serious space tourism industry before long.
Yeah, I heard about the space hotel the Russians opened up. But we're still not going any further than orbit, right?
Well, one company's planning to have a lunar landing craft complete by 2020. Not ours, though. I'm just hoping we can get to Jupiter while Hal's still alive.
Jupiter, huh? Wow, that's pretty far.
Oh, hey! How did Earth look from up there?
I can't even put it into words. I know I was still under the Kármán line, but it looked exactly like every satellite photo of Earth I've ever seen. No borders, no nothing. Just a whole lot of blue. Hopefully next time around I can take my time and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But first things first, you know?
Yep. Well, good luck, Jack. Raiden.
You designed that thing too, Sonny?
Nobody designed her.
Nobody?
Yep. She pretty much evolved by herself.
I think I may be missing something here.
We used a genetic algorithm to make it. Ever hear of that? They use it to build the cars for bullet trains and stuff. Basically, we start by creating a few different models of aircraft. The data for each design is treated as the genes for a new aircraft. They all get crossbred with each other in virtual space. Eventually, you come up with offspring that exhibit genes from each original design.
Offspring?
You know, children. Each child then competes with the others for survival in the virtual space. The kids that have the best aerodynamic traits survive and pass on their genes, creating the next generation of aircraft. You get this sort of gene-based evolution across generations, like animals in real life.
I'm having a hard time imagining aircraft having kids like that. Anyway, what's with the two wings on the top and the bottom?
Oh yeah, the swept wings? They're set up so that the sonic booms they create wind up bashing against each other, cutting down on shockwaves. The idea has been hard to implement due to issues with elevation and wingtip treatment. But thanks to the genetic algorithm, the RLV worked out all the problems herself.
Herself, huh? Makes it sound like you're more breeder than designer. So what happened with the RLV after it dropped me off?
Running on autopilot, she'll circumnavigate the Earth and head back.
Wow, a trip around the world, huh?
That's the sort of distance you need to reach orbital velocity. She had to lower her altitude pretty drastically to drop the landing craft. So getting back up for her was a pretty rough trip.
Rough? How?
In terms of damage to the craft, I mean. Running in ramjet mode helps conserve fuel a lot, so she's good there, but yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no. All in the name of peace, right? Besides, it made for a good load experiment. I'm kind of surprised it actually worked, actually.
What?
Oh, I'm just teasing. Don't be so serious.
So what kind of engine is this LACE thing?
It's short for Liquid Air Cycle Engine. A LACE uses liquid hydrogen to chill and liquefy the oxygen in the air. The reaction between the liquefied hydrogen and oxygen creates propulsion. On this RLV, the LACE is combined with ramjets for maximum efficiency. Once the solid rocket boosters lift her off and bring her to Mach 3, she switches to ramjet propulsion mode. In the meantime, she's taking in and liquefying oxygen from the air. Once there's enough, the LACE is ignited. If it wasn't for that hybrid engine, it would have been pretty rough for an RLV to pull that trick that it did. You know, lowering its elevation just long enough to drop a landing craft.
Well, I'm impressed. If it wasn't for you, I'd still be on your side of the world.
And I wouldn't even be here if not for you. Don't forget that, okay? A lot of people appreciate what you've done for them.
I'll try not to. So what kind of engine is this LACE thing?
It's short for Liquid Air Cycle Engine. A LACE uses liquid hydrogen to chill and liquefy the oxygen in the air. The reaction between the liquefied hydrogen and oxygen creates propulsion. On this RLV, the LACE is combined with ramjets for maximum efficiency. Once the solid rocket boosters lift her off and bring her to Mach 3, she switches to ramjet propulsion mode. In the meantime, she's taking in and liquefying oxygen from the air. Once there's enough, the LACE is ignited. If it wasn't for that hybrid engine, it would have been pretty rough for an RLV to pull that trick that it did. You know, lowering its elevation just long enough to drop a landing craft.
Well, I'm impressed. If it wasn't for you, I'd still be on your side of the world.
And I wouldn't even be here if not for you. Don't forget that, okay?
I'll try not to. So what kind of engine is...
It's short a late on this once in the... If it was...
Well, I'm...
Don't forget...
I'll try...
Raiden, there is no time to worry about the soldiers. Get to the control tower.
So the president's visit to Pakistan, it's meant to build government ties, right?
Right. You probably know this, but there's a region on their northwest border called FATA. Stands for Federally Administered Tribal Areas. The central government is... well, let's just say they're not entirely in control of that part of the country.
Right. It served as the base for all kinds of armed groups over the years.
Uh-huh. The U.S. started staging cross-border raids there at the turn of the century, chasing after combatants that fled out of Afghanistan. The Pakistan armies tried to work with the U.S. to confront them from both sides. But that only escalated anti-American sentiment within the FATA. You can only get away with so many botched civilian strikes after all.
I thought that post-SOP, the U.S., pretty much pulled out of Afghanistan. You know, after all that anti-war economy stuff broke out.
They did. That put an end to the FATA strikes, but definitely not the anti-American groups. Now their anger's channeled towards the pro-U.S. central government instead.
Wouldn't this visit just enrage the FATA groups even more, though? I know President Salam's pretty much on the American side.
Yeah, but Salam doesn't care. He's got no interest in dealing with them. He wants to get the FATA back under control, and I guess he wants America's help doing it.
And how do his people feel about that?
It's pretty much 50-50. A lot of people hate the U.S., for sure. But a lot of others have been directly affected by the anti-government suicide bombings, too. There's definitely some deep-seated support for helping the U.S., but only if it means ending the violence once and for all.
Sounds like we could see civil war here any moment. What about their intelligence bureau, the ISI? How do they feel about all this?
They haven't commented, publicly.
People are always saying how much bad blood there is between the ISI and the civilian government.
Oh yeah, there are stories all the time about their involvement with insurgents or terror groups. Depending on how the ISI acts, things over there could change pretty damn quickly.
No wonder Armstrong chose this place. It's like one big powder keg. I don't think I've asked about Pakistani food yet, Courtney.
More food talk? I didn't know you were so interested, Raiden.
Hey, knowing the food can help you learn a lot about the local culture, you know.
Raiden, I told you that.
So? Pakistani food.
Yeah. Alright, so Pakistan's had cultural links with India for centuries, right? They're neighbors, after all. And as a result, the two countries share a lot of culinary traditions. You've got your curries, your naan, samosas, pakoras. For the most part, that's all the same. The locals might be able to spot the difference, but a lot of American restaurants put India and Pakistan pretty much in the same bowl, so to speak.
What are samosas?
Spiced potatoes and other yummy stuff, fried in a flour shell. Sometimes they're spiced with curry. That's the kind I like best.
But I thought India and Pakistan didn't really get along. They had at least 3 armed clashes in the 20th century alone.
They did. I mean, that's why they have nukes in the subcontinent now. It's a shame. You see how similar their taste in food is. It just seems like they should get along better.
Yeah, well, not too rare for neighboring countries to have problems. If nothing else, they have to compete for the same common resources.
Yeah, but isn't that why we have politicians? To peacefully manage that kind of stuff?
You know how few politicians out there actually give a crap about serving their country? Anyway, sorry. This isn't exactly the light conversation I was expecting. Better worry about the president for now. We can go and grab samosas another time.
Raiden, are you fully versed in the features of your AR display? It can serve many functions, you know. Of course, then, as it, of course, you did it in the Rico exact such the effect, yet it keeps.
Hey, so how's Otacon? About time he starts thinking about marriage, isn't it?
I don't know if he is or not, but either way, no dice yet. He likes to go on about how nobody would ever be happy with him long term. But it doesn't seem like he has too much trouble keeping busy on Saturday nights. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, he was a huge geek back when he was younger.
Maybe, but even so, he's still a nice guy. I doubt he was ever that lonely.
Yeah, I suppose. But he really changed once he got into his 30s. Got a lot more attractive.
Yeah, but he still has this really bad habit of keeping the ladies at arm's length. It winds up making him look really awkward sometimes. I really wish he'd just pick someone and settle down already.
Easier said than done, I guess. So what about you, Sonny?
Me? Well, I've got science. That's all the love I need.
Sounds like you've got your own problems in that department.